Hey guys, how's it going? All right, cool. So we might be having a break to the downside very, very soon. It all depends on a couple of things. I'll show you what I see in the inside. We're also going to be going over Chili. It's another asset. I was requested to do it by one of our members during our last call. So I'll be doing that too. We're going over, it's the ticker symbol is CHZ. It's an altcoin, so it's relatively risky to trade, but riskier assets also give you better gains. So we'll be taking a look at that. And I also want to flex the profits for the community really quick. So we got Yogo, who's relatively new. I think he just joined a day or two ago. But basically made a small win, 6.78% with 10x leverage. Applied TA, learn from Kyle, wouldn't work like a charm. Of course it does. Like it's science. Like it's so easy once you get used to it. Awesome job, man. Anyways, Jägermeister flexing his Wave Rider results. So if you guys aren't familiar with Wave Rider, basically it's a form of martingale strategy where it trades both sides of the market. So it always enters a short and it's always in a long position. And it does a form of dollar cost averaging on the losing side until it's a winning position. And if you're safe with your settings with the bot, you can basically be unstoppable. The way I have mine set up is really conservative, so I make less profits with it, but I don't have to worry or stress about the bot liquidating my account. So yeah, he's just basically flexing those gains with the short and long side right on. So good job at keeping it safe and conservative with your Wave Rider bot. And Solana gain from Ari. Right on, job. Right on, man. So this is one of our coaches. He's made 20% off Solana. Talon the Scraper, Scalper, sorry. He just changed his name from Talon to Talon the Scalper, so that's pretty cool. So 11% gain off 10x leverage. We got Easy Lou with 2 take profits on Uni, 20% gain and 76% gain on a second take profit. With 7.5x leverage. You don't need that much leverage with altcoins, guys. Technically, you don't even need leverage to make insane gains. So awesome job at being safe with the leverage a bit there. Milk, 14% gain off Bitcoin, 10x leverage. Talon the Scalper again, about 2 minutes ago, 16% gain on Solana. So awesome job. And yeah, that's it. Let's dive into it. I want to show you guys what I see on the inside. There's a lot of stuff that we need to react off of and find some more gains. All right, cool. See you on the inside. Okie dokie. All right, let's go over to the DXY. So I'm going to pull this up. We can see we got this uptrend level support that we're talking about, and it looks like it finally broke it, and it used the support as a form of resistance. So we got this rejection here, so we may start to see the DXY begin to go to the downside. Now this shouldn't be a largely weighted factor on Bitcoin's price action right now. So if we do, we could still break to the downside with Bitcoin. This support level that the DXY most likely will bounce off of will kind of nerf the drop a little bit. So when we're looking at our percent possible gains for the Bitcoin drop, the maximum potential is 13%. However, we have like support levels that could make us forced to exit the position at 4% or 8% gains. So this could come in confluence with a support bounce for Bitcoin, depending on how this price action reacts with a DXY. But right now, yeah, things are looking bearish for the DXY, so that may flip things, be a little bit bullish for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's volume is starting to die because we're in a wedge, and a wedge is a representation of buyers' confidence starting to die, so the volume starts to die. And because of the fact that it's the buyers are dying off with that form of formation, let's just go over to that chart really quick. It normally means that bears are going to start taking control once it starts breaking to the downside. And that's why there's about only about 35% chance of it breaking to the upside with these rising wedges. Because buyers' confidence is starting to die along with it. Anyways, we are still inside the wedge, But based on the trend line with a parabolic curve, we have broken to the downside and actually used it as resistance as well within this micro formation. So a lot kind of rides on this hourly candle right here, and potentially the next hourly candle to define whether or not we're going to actually break to the downside here. No one should have even entered this, honestly. If you did, I'm sorry, because that's rough. You could have lost. You definitely lost this trade if you were if you entered this. So a breakout trader would normally enter off of this candle close right here. But if you're not paying attention to the support level, then stuff like this could happen, and your stop loss should be roughly around here. And the risk to reward ratio off this micro formation isn't really worth it. But we can use the information from this micro formation to tell us if there's going to be a confirmation rejection outside of this parabolic curve. So we only got about 1 minute and 38 seconds left on this hourly candle, and I think if it closes back inside here, like it is trying to right now, then it's likely going to continue to go up and then use this as resistance, and we may have a new channel to pay attention to. And this channel will probably be the deciding factor of the confirmation rejection for the parabolic curve and begin our short for off of the rising wedge. So what I'm going to be looking out for, so depending on what's going on here, I'm going to draw a trend line right now just so we can see. If we break this downtrending level support and use it as a resistance, then I'm going to use that as a confirmation to the rising wedge, break to the downside, and I'm going to enter a short. And I'm going to short it until we start seeing either a reversal or hopefully the technical target of 20,900 or 21,000 to be a little bit more conservative. And we have this support level to look out for as well at 21,700, which is actually very strong support right now. Like we built this off from the previous price action a while ago, and for the past 57 days, we've been building that support level. So if we break to the downside, we have to be prepared for taking profits early, obviously. We could have to take profits maybe early here. If we start seeing a W reversal and it breaks that neckline, then we'll be exiting the short position. If we see a W reversal or something like that here, or an inverse head and shoulders, any bullish formation that could tell us that the downtrend is going to end, basically. So those are factors we got to look out for. Now, if things change, like for between now and tomorrow, like the next TA today video, the next video, we shouldn't be breaking to the upside because that would take a lot more time unless we, in a single hour, for some magical reason, we end up going all the way up here and then getting a confirmation an hour later. I don't see us, breaking to the upside by tomorrow for me to give you guys an alert. But for now, we just got to be aware of the break to the downside because that's what it's looking like right now. It's looking more bearish than bullish right now. We do have like bearish divergences on the 4-hour chart too, and that divergence is getting stronger. So right now things are tipping towards us breaking to the downside rather than to the upside. So we got to be prepared for that. So if you're in any long positions, be very careful. If you're preparing for a short position, just wait for the confirmation so you can get a better risk to reward ratio. That's everything for that. Let's jump over to Ethereum really quick, super quick. So Ethereum, I'm looking at, I think I was talking to someone about, I was talking to you guys actually about this head and shoulders formation, the double top formation right here, and how it could bring us down to this target. And we haven't hit that target. We're very, very, very close. So you could technically close the short now. However, we are seeing now that the price action is formed the way it did, we are seeing price action behavior of a head and shoulders formation. So if we break to the downside, especially if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, we have to look at this horizontal level of support for Ethereum. Ethereum has a lot of Bitcoin liquidity, so it's greatly influenced by Bitcoin's price action. Even with the merge coming up and causing all this bullish momentum and this this relative strength against Bitcoin, it only can go so far. So we got to pay attention to this support level And if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, this will most likely be influenced to break to the downside as well. And the technical target for Ethereum right now for this formation is at 17,000. Sorry, I always have Bitcoin on the brain. 1,700. So $1,737. All right. So that's the technical target for the head and shoulders. So if it breaks to the downside, look out through, for that for your technical target, and look at local levels of support and resistance that could potentially cause a support bounce. This will be a good location right here at 1,814 to potentially take profits off the table. Take profits before someone else does. Is what I always like to say. So if you start seeing a reversal here, you should definitely at least close 50% and maybe move your stop loss into the profit zone or break even. The location where you want to normally put your stop loss is above the most recent swing high off of the right shoulder. So that's where your stop loss should be, unless you're someone who likes to wait for the confirmation like I am. So see this little price action right here? This could help indicate the type of breakdown we would have. So if we break to the downside, we might get a support bounce off of this level of resistance, flipping support. Comes up, then you get the rejection. Wait for the rejection, and then enter off of that. And that would act as a confirmation, and then you can move your stop loss in a better, more conservative location and have a better risk-to-reward ratio because of it. And that's why confirmation traders end up making more money. Whether their win rate is, less, their win rate is not a huge factor of your profitability, believe it or not. It's your risk-to-reward ratios and your consistency of your risk management. You can have more profits than someone with a 33% win rate than someone with a 70% win rate, depending on how they manage their risk-to-reward ratio, believe it or not. I have charts on that actually explains all that math. If you guys are interested in checking that out in InvestorShare. Anyways, that's Ethereum. Going over my time here, but I really want to show, check out CHZ for one of our members. So this is what I was looking at. We got a rising wedge formation as well. However, this is more of a short-term lookout, right? So if we're starting to see the break to the downside off of this continuation formation here inside this rising wedge. And what we got to wait for is a confirmation rejection. Your stop loss should be right above the swing high. And the technical target is down here at 17 cents. While looking out for, use the VPVR here to tell you areas of interest. And you want to try to undercut those areas of interest if you're going to be taking profits along the way. Because these act as walls, basically, because you'll start to see a lot of limit buy orders in the order books because of these areas of interest. So you might see support bounces from around here at 18 or 19 cents. You might see a support bounce here, and the support bounce may be what you need to start to see the confirmation rejection. Now, you might not get the rejection right at the uptrending level support, and this is something that you guys should pay attention to as well. You might not get rejections, confirmations off of the actual formation. You might get confirmations off of the areas of interest. So you might see price action come up, hit that area of interest, and then come down, rather than come all the way up and retest the uptrending level of support. Just so you guys know, just pay attention to stuff like that, because you might be able to get a more positive entry knowing that kind of information. Chiliz did just break a really strong downtrending level of resistance recently. You can see here. And now it's starting an uptrend. So this break to the downside is basically just going to be a cool off period before it most likely will continue going up. Just so you guys are aware, when we break to the downside here, you can see based on this area of interest in the larger time frames that we might actually get trapped inside this area of interest for CHZ for a little while, just like it did over here, and it probably did in the past as well. Yeah, over here it used it as support. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I got for you guys. If you have any questions about this, you can reach out to me in the Discord, of course. Yeah. Have yourself an amazing day, and don't forget to subscribe because I will be giving away another free course to anyone who subscribes, and anyone who comments as well, because I found better systems out there for commenting. So we're going to make it a rule. So if you guys comment and subscribe, all your comments will act as like a form of ballot, but those comments won't be qualified unless you're a subscriber. But yeah, that's everything I got for you guys. Have yourself an amazing day. Don't forget, you can reach out to me in the Discord if you have any questions that you need help with. And thanks for watching.